Hi YouTube, it's Valerie Reified. I wanted to talk today to my American friends, me being Soviet Kanakistani, about ENDA, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, and especially those of you in the LGB end of the LGBT community, and being LNT at the same time, it sort of bothers me the way they tend to classify those. Um, as though they're somehow mutually exclusive. But I digress. Dropping trans protection will not help your case. It really, really won't. The argument that there are legislators who are perfectly fine with making it illegal for any organization. We're talking, Salvation Army social work groups. We're talking any, pretty much any position save for priest. Making sure that one cannot discriminate on those on the basis of sexual orientation. Nobody who is voting for a law like that then turns around and thinks it's okay to discriminate against someone on the basis of gender identity. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. There is a caucus that is pro cis-queer but anti-trans. What is it called? Oh, right, Barney Frank. This man, he does not like us. And I highly recommend some excellent resources that will indicate to you how little he likes the prospect of trans women. Not least of all, going out of his way to ensure that one can't present as genderqueer in really any appreciable way in the office, or that it'll be perfectly legal for an employer to discriminate against the non-operative or the pre-operative, saying that no, they must use the bathroom that is in keeping with their surgical status. When surgical intervention is a prerequisite of human rights, they are no longer rights. They are privileges. So that's the first point. There's not a lot of people who will vote against trans inclusion, who would vote in favor of inclusion on the basis of sexual orientation. Not anymore. I mean, Janice Raymond doesn't have a seat in Congress, so it's not on. Barney Frank hates trans women and trans men, mainly trans women, but that's beside the point. The second point is, when these things pass, they do pass by wide margins. Always. Nobody wants to be on the losing side of this argument now, because they know how stupid it is to say what they're thinking in the back of their brain out loud. Just to give you an example, we had a bill on including sexual orientation in hate crimes legislation in 2003. And there was a lot of doubt over whether the bill would pass. It did pass. It passed the House and the Senate. Canadian House of Commons and Senate. Slightly different structure, but still. Passed the House easily on all three readings. They actually didn't record the votes. It just passed on voice vote. If you want to have a voice vote go to a division, 5 people have to stand up and say that they want a recorded division on votes. So not 5 members of a 300-member House of Parliament wanted to have their vote recorded on this issue. So ashamed were they at the thought that they might actually have to have someone look back at their record on this. The Senate did have a recorded vote. There were enough people who stood up and demanded a recorded vote. Yeah, the Senate, where it just squeaked by 59-11. So, what do you want me to say? Trans inclusion is not going to hurt your bill. In fact, it's going to help it, because you're not going to look like a bunch of well-to-do hypocrites, which, by you, I'm referring to those driving the bill, especially on a more professional lobbying basis. Human Rights Campaign. don't throw the don't drop the T from LGBT when it comes to this kind of rights legislation. You're just going to make yourselves look like a bunch of petty, well-fed asshats. Take my word on this. Wanting so blatantly to get your own, but not cover other people who visibly need just as much help, if not more, will backfire. It will deprive you of popular support, it will deprive you of volunteers, it will deprive you of money. This happened in 2007, it'll happen again. If you want Get Equal to be the dominant rights organization, then you should probably be in favor of stripping trans protections from this bill. Because if you really want to, destroy any credibility your organization has left with those of us who work for a living, yeah, that's the way to go about doing it. So yeah, this is a message to YouTubers in general, but I mean, it's just one Canadian economist / political science minor providing her analysis, which is being trans exclusive when you're in favor of equal rights does not make you look good. We kind of passed that inflection point in the last few years, and I know you haven't noticed, because really you haven't had a new idea since Robert Rubin was at Treasury, so that's fine. I'm just putting it out there. And to the rest of you, I mean, keep fighting the good fight. Put pressure on your representatives. Put pressure if there's a primary and you've got a representative who's very clearly not voting for ENDA, or a senator who's very clearly not voting for ENDA, find the member who is voting for it. See if you can expand the provisions. I mean, let me say this right now. People who have pink hair should not be discriminated against in the workplace, even if their hair is not naturally pink. People who have, I mean, it should not be a condition of employment in an office building that you not have a line of rings going down your ears. Now, this isn't my personal taste. I have enough trouble with the holes that are mandatory, but yeah, we're talking basic self-expression here. It doesn't affect you as an employer. I'm sorry, it doesn't affect our theoretical employers as employers. It doesn't make numbers crunch any differently. The idea that, unprofessional is really used as a euphemism for, I really wouldn't want someone like that marrying my daughter. Which, of course, in my case, I'm about as unprofessional as they get.